Preparing to live stream. It's doing the thing. Hopefully, it does the thing properly this time.
We're doing it live.
Doing it live. All right, playing this in.
Welcome to Earl and the Idiot, the show that gives you the answers you need to take your business to the next level. With Earl Flormata, one of Vancouver's most sought-after business and marketing consultants, author of Business Engine Optimization, consultant to over 60 successful businesses, an all-around evil marketing genius with a combined total of more than $70 million worth of sales to his credit. And some idiot. Okay, here we go.
Here we go. Second show.
I'll never
of the
get tired
year.
of that. I'll never get tired of that. Here we go.
It's good, right?
I like it.
Once again, a big plug for my good friend Jason McKinnon. Doesn't need a lot of plugs these days. He's doing great. But if you ever need any voiceover work, he's your man.
Absolutely.
Just contact the show somehow. Do we even have our email address set up?
No.
We should do
What was
that.
the
I'll do
domain?
that. You know, write it down. There's probably all these fans out there trying to send us fan mail, love letters, and marriage proposals and stuff, and
Nope.
we're not getting it.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
Yeah. So here we are, second show of the year.
Yeah. Second show. It's second week, I guess. So there we go. Maybe we'll be more consistent this time around.
Yeah,
So,
we're getting our groove back.
yeah.
We let our show, our podcasting chops and our waistlines go over the holiday season. Now it's
Just
time
just
to
a little
tighten
bit.
things up again.
Just a little bit. So hey man,
So
as
yeah,
long as I stay under 200, I'm good. So
yeah. Well, if I could get to 200, I think I'd have to chop a leg off to get to 200.
you're taller than me. That's different.
Um, you've been busy.
Yeah.
You couldn't come to the one Zoom meeting because you were going to the other Zoom meeting. And are you doing this 100 things in 100 days? Or are you still prepping to do that?
I'm doing it. This is event number 6 today.
Event 6 on day 6, or are you doing more than one event today?
Just one event today, I think. I did 2 events on one of the days already, but yeah, and I'm getting older, so I don't know if I can pull like 3, 4, 5 like I did in my 20s. So, because yeah, back then I would go to like everything. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
what it was. Board of Trade, Chamber of Commerce, BNI. I hit all of them. So I have no idea looking back now how I was able to do that, but the energy of a 20-year-old, right?
Yeah. That's one of the biggest, like, I don't feel like I'm mentally slowing down or anything else, but I know I've noticed my physical recovery is slower. Like if I go to the gym, it takes me a little bit longer to,
To bounce
have the
back.
muscles ready, bounce back. Exactly.
Yeah, dude,
I
I
get,
after our do you remember, you were there for the squat one, right? The
yeah.
train. Oh my God, I couldn't sit in the toilet. I couldn't get off the toilet. Like, I'm trapped
It was
here forever now.
brutal.
This is where I live now. This is who I am.
It was
Yeah.
brutal. Good. Any interesting wisdoms or insights or anything you've got from going to these 6 events so far? What are you noticing? What are the trends out there?
Just really simple, right? Just it's an old school methodology to grow your list. And so the game plan was this, where we got the license for this thing called fuck up nights.
Hmm.
And so the concept was really simple. If I go to 100 events before fuck up nights happens and I shake 3 to 5 hands and get them onto my list, that's it. Just find 3 to 5 people who are interesting that I'd be down to grab a beer, coffee, whatever with. And then by the time I'm done, at 100 events times, let's call it 5, that's 500 people I've literally shaken hands with, right? And so because that's the concept, I'll have 500 people to invite to the launch of Fuck Up Nights, and that's the concept. So we're gonna do 100 events, and then the 101st event will be ours, the big one.
PFUN. Hey, I just realized that abbreviates the fun.
Yes, absolutely, it does. When we
Right.
type it on the group chat, we got tired of swearing, so we just call it fun.
Yeah, and I'm sure it will be a lot of fun. I can't wait. That's gonna be cool.
So yeah, it's instead of an entrepreneur going up on stage and telling you how great they are, they tell you their biggest life oopsie and how they
Mhm.
how they either coped or fixed it. So one of our speakers literally had a gold mine explode, and the government blew it up. And that's he only has one slide, and it's the explosion of the mine. And I'm like, this is going to be great.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I appreciate that. I remember realizing that quite a long time ago. Sort of one of these things where you grow as a person, realizing that you look at your heroes, musical heroes, sports heroes, business heroes, whatever it is, you see how great they are. You don't see how many times they fucked up.
It's not the number of times that you win, it's the number of times that you learn and apply, right?
Yeah.
Because for
And
a
it's,
while, all I did was win. And I thought, well, this is easy, isn't it?
Mhm.
And then, the first time I screwed up big, it was a big screw. Like, it was $20 million. So it's just like, ow, right? And so,
Yeah.
you have to screw up along the way, because if you don't and you just pile it all up and have one big screw up, you're going to be messed in the head a little bit. I think I still have a little PTSD from that. So yeah.
Yeah. But it can be disheartening if you don't realize that your heroes have screwed up a lot too. You know what I mean? Like you sit there and you make a mistake and you go, oh shoot, I'm terrible at this. I should quit. I should whatever.
Mhm.
You get down on yourself until you realize that, anyone you admire in any field has had the same moments themselves where they've thought they maybe shouldn't,
The
or they
difference
screwed
between a
up, or
master and a student is the master screwed up more time than the students have tried,
yeah.
period. So yeah,
So I like it.
that's
I like it.
so.
Now on today's topic, I expect you're hearing a lot of people talking about AI these days, right?
The funny thing is, I'm doing, I think, 3 or 4 joint ventures in the AI space for AI. And I wasn't like, I didn't even consider myself a quote unquote AI expert, right?
Mm.
But the first one was a couple of years back, where like, hey, you want to speak on the board for AI? I'm like, sure, but I haven't really truly used it yet. So I said, give me a week and I'll come back to you with my topic. And so it was really simple. I used AI to sell AI to make money with AI. And
Mhm.
so I made 30 grand in the week and then came back and went, okay, cool. This is how I made 30 grand in the week using AI. Is that a good topic? They're like, yes. And so the hilarious thing was I did that selling tickets for the event, which was kind of circular logic, but it worked. So
Yeah. Does it get more meta than that?
yeah. So it's
I, yeah,
the dream
I
within
feel
the
like,
dream.
yeah, I feel like I'm adopting AI slowly. I very quickly used it for blogging and content creation. But the applications are so wide ranging. I feel like a boomer at the dawn of the internet going, oh, this internet thing's not going to take off. Pen and paper, that's the way to do it. you know, but I keep I get all these posts all the time on, the Instagram, the sponsored ones or whatever. They're always like, hey, instead of working, just let AI do literally everything for you. And I'm like, that's probably something I should look into. I should probably get a little bit
Funny
more.
enough, actually, it leads into the hack of the week, which I'm glad to share today because it'll be fun.
Nice. I'll take notes on that one. So, yeah, the question was, here we are, 2025. Oh, for those of you just joining us, at our new time slot, or our testing time slot, we're just doing 10 o'clock today, just due to scheduling conflicts. But
Yeah, I'm speaking at a gig later this evening, and so I wanted travel time, and the travel time is right when we normally run this. So it's just like, okay, well, let's get the show done early.
so, tell people, do you want to tell people where you're speaking if they want to come see you, or is it already sold out?
It's Ricky Shetty's event. So if anyone knows Ricky Shetty, he used to be a big event promoter here in Vancouver,
Mhm.
and it's at the New India Buffet, I think, in Vancouver at 6 p.m. if I'm not incorrect.
All
But
right,
I need time to get there, set up, blah blah blah, get everything up and going. So
no, that's fine. So anyway, we're testing out this new 10 o'clock time slot. So all you early risers, or 10 o'clock, I guess it's not early risers, all you early adopters, welcome to the show. We have Earl, as you heard in the intro, is a genius and knows everything there is to know about everything. And I'm an idiot. So I'm here to ask stupid questions, and Earl's going to give us smart answers. And what we found makes for a better show is this is, obviously ironic. We get AI to write our outline for our show, and we go over we go over what it says, and we say yay or nay, or expand on it, or give examples, or I
mhm.
ask stupid questions about it. And and there we go. That's how we do our show. So this is funny. So we asked. So I was wondering, here we are, 2025. AI is changing everything. What's the latest? What's the greatest? What's the way to use AI? So we asked ChatGPT. You asked ChatGPT. Hi, ChatGPT. I need your help today for another episode of Earl and the Idiot. Acting as a marketing expert, please let me know the new trends for using AI for business in 2025. I'd like 3 things to consider, 2 things to avoid, and one red hot tip for really taking advantage of AI in 2025 for business growth. Now, you say you've been training AI on our show?
Not yet. I was going to.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the previous episodes minus the lost ones because those don't exist.
Yep.
And then we're going to emphasize the blueberry one. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take all of them, throw in a big PDF transcription, and we're going to feed it to the AI. And so every time we ask it for stuff, it can kind of see the tone and kind of see the voice of the project. And yeah, and then let it kind of feed off of that for our personality types and find something interesting.
Yeah. Well, it's already learning. Did you see its intro to the show today?
Yes, I did. I was. Oh, right. Yeah.
It says, welcome to another episode of Earl and the Idiot, where brilliance and ridiculousness collide.
I liked that. I like that.
That's good. I'll be handling the ridiculousness portion. You'll be fortunately it's feels like a trickier task to come up with the brilliance, so that's on to you. So it says, let's dive into AI trends for 2025 and serve up some expert marketing wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
You all ready for this? All right. Oh, this is even what we're just talking about. One, AI-driven hyper-personalization. Oh, actually, no, it's something different, I think. AI tools are taking personalization. I noticed with my new camera, I don't seem to have as much of a range of motion if I move out of the way a little bit.
Oh, yeah. It just goes, nope, you're dark now.
Yeah. Anyway, have to be more disciplined about staying in the center of the frame. Oh, and here, this is my AI guy going to work. He's in his suit.
I like it. Oh, what prompt did you type to make a robot in a suit?
Well, I said put a robot in a suit. Basically, it's not complicated. I said a 1950s style retro robot, which is my favorite kind of robot, wearing a business suit and carrying a briefcase, walking to work.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
I think it did a good job.
Yeah, it was great.
I did a spit take when
yeah, spat out your drink. You was so funny. There he is. He's so ready to go, isn't he?
Yeah.
All right. AI-driven hyper-personalization. AI tools are taking personalization to an extreme level by analyzing micro behaviors, e.g., how long someone hovers over a call to action. You can now create bespoke user experiences in real time, from emails and landing pages to ads and chat interactions that shift based on immediate customer responses. Gives us an action tip. We didn't ask it for that, but it's done it.
Okay.
Leverage tools like dynamic content optimizers. Oh, you're gonna have to explain that to me. They use adaptive AI to adjust messaging on the fly, increasing conversions by predicting intent mid-interaction. Okay, I don't understand any part of that. Let's start with hyper personalization. What do you?
Hyper personalization means everyone puts everything on the internet, right? Like we're all dumb at this generational stage.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
what happened was we stick everything we like on Facebook. So I like Nike shoes. I like, these kind of hats, these kind of jackets. I like this. I like that. I like these sports teams. I like these TV shows. And because you put all that information up there, it knows how to talk to you. So if you said you like this show, Frasier, if it makes it'll make a joke that's have Frasier stuff in it.
Right.
So when you do something and there's a behavioral pattern, you can actually make jokes, again, beholden to the client, that's very specific to the client. So you and I, we bond over like Simpsons jokes sometimes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if AI is writing a pitch, so someone's writing a pitch to Earl and the Idiot and they want to sell us something for the podcast, and it looks at your profile, looks at my profile, knows that we both like Simpsons, knows that we both like jokes, knows that you like bird watching and I have a bird, right? Mm-hmm. And it can actually pull all those weird offshoot materials together and make a crazy intro line that only someone who's read our profiles and actually knew us would be able to pull off.
In an email to the customer.
In an email.
Right.
And so in the first email, it's, it would literally type in some sort of half Simpsons, half bird joke that would get the both of us to go, oh, they actually do know us, right? Or they actually or they've seen our stuff, right? And so that bespoke content that's very specific to the client really grabs your attention, right? Because look at who we're competing against. It's like hi name because they forgot the form field, blah blah blah, and they screw a bunch of stuff. Versus, hey guys, love your show. Let's talk about the birds in the business. And that type of verbiage, that type of line would catch both of our attentions, right?
Yeah.
And so that type of architecture is now possible with AI because it's kind of like how AI is taking over doctors and AI is taking over lawyers, right? Because a doctor will only have so much field of vision. He'll see the symptoms, he'll see what's wrong, he'll see what the issues are, and he'll be like, okay, well, it could be this, this, or this. Whereas AI sees everything and goes, well, here are actually all the possibilities it could be, even the weird offshoot ones, right? So the same kind of thing can be done with hyper-personalization, right? Back in the day, the structures for AI weren't as deep as they are now. So it would check your social media, saw that you went for a bike ride, and then mention the bike ride because that was literally the last thing you posted,
Hmm.
right? That's cool unto itself, a little creepy, but it's cool unto itself. But if the last thing you posted on social media was 10 years ago, because you just don't use that account no more, the bike ride is weird now, right? So there's sometimes where that's amazing, and it's sometimes where that's friggin' terrible. But the amalgamation, like putting everything together and saying, "Hey, create dynamic content based on these two people because it's who I'm pitching to," it's come a long way.
So, okay, so in terms of applications, I can see like, okay, you want to pitch something to the CEO of some company or their marketing department or something,
Mhm.
and you can say, "Hey, AI, research these guys for me and come up with something that'll really appeal to them," right?
Yeah,
You can put in their names and it'll look them up and everything.
and their names, and it'll start looking them up. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Unless they have some really, like Dave Smith kind of name,
Right.
then you're screwed. But then you feed it like a LinkedIn account or something like that, right? Or you take the LinkedIn page, click on the button that just captures the entire page, take that PDF, it throw it at the thing, and say, "Hey, I need a thing on Dan, blah blah blah. What is it like? What's he into?" And it'll grab all that information, and then it'll dynamically adjust and change the content based on what you feed it. So
Hmm.
now it's a very specific pitch, but because it's such a quick turnaround, there's a software platform called Make, and what Make does is it lets you amalgamate a bunch of different AIs and do different things with them. And it lets you automate all this stuff. So if you need like 100 custom pieces of content, it's not going to take you 3 months to do anymore. You just go boop, 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 throw into Make. Once your Make thing is done, maybe it takes you like a couple of hours to build. It now has 100 dynamically generated, very specific intro lines for people.
Writing that
So,
down.
and that's it.
Um,
So,
so
so
could you also use this? Like, I think you were just saying that at the end there. You could use this in a bulk mailing context to see that every person in the bulk mailing gets a mailing that they're going to respond to.
you got it. So
Oh my
what you
God.
do is you make the bulk mail structure. You take that list, you give it to your virtual assistant. The virtual assistant then goes out and collects all the proper social medias for those people, so it's the right ones, and then you stick it in the giant AI shredder, and the shredder does its thing, right?
Hmm. Okay, well that's terrifying. But you know what's weird? I saw a clip the other day advertising AI sales, AI phone salespeople, right?
Oh, you heard mine, right? It sounds real.
Yeah, I think you played yours, and this is another thing, basically the same deal. And it was
Uh,
weird. You'd think you get pissed off with a robot calling you,
no.
but I feel like I wouldn't mind. Hey, I'm an AI assistant calling you about blah, because you'd feel like you could address that entity without fear of upsetting the person.
Yep, absolutely. So the numbers, the statistics are actually scary. So it
Hmm.
went from like 60-ish% to now 80-ish% of people in business don't want to talk to a sales guy. They don't want to talk to a salesperson. They want to be able to get access to all the information on their own. And so AI has been crushing it in that space because what you do is you feed AI your manuals, you feed AI all your stuff, you give it to it, and it can answer questions, and it answers questions intelligently. And so
Yeah,
because you're talking to an AI, like you said, you can ask for it specifically for stuff, and there's no sales technique, sales tactic behind it. It just feeds you back the information that you require to make your buying decision, right? And so, like I said, the percentage of people looking to buy have moved from 60-ish to 80-ish% where they don't want to talk to a human for the initial interactions anymore. They want to gather information, make a decision, make a short list, and then talk to the humans. So this is where AI really shines.
yeah. It's sort of a not insulting thing that there's no human interaction there. Like if I wanted to buy a washing machine, for example,
Yeah.
um, when I talk to the salesman, I'm just grilling that salesman. Well, how many thises does it have? Where do I put the something like I'm just pumping that guy for information. And then I go, okay, yes, this does meet my needs. I could look that up on the internet too, but that's
Mhm.
harder to do. If I basically what the AI is at that point is just it's basically the internet, but you can communicate to it like a person.
Yeah, it's halfway between a web page and a human,
Yeah.
right? Where you can actually ask it questions. So yeah. And that's what I'm hoping to generate from their own idiot stuff too, right? Like, so if we actually pull this together, which I'm going to feed it all into the AI, we can have a digital Earl and the idiot, and then people can come ask it questions. And then what will happen is they ask the question, digital Dan will come up with some, ridiculousness
Mhm.
to make them laugh, and then digital Earl will come up with an answer to go there. Like, you just do this. So, I
Oh
mean,
my
that
God,
would be amazing if we had a
that'd be
digital
wild.
Earl the idiot, and it's just like,
That,
okay, you type a question, and it gives a Danism, and then it has
yeah,
an Earlism, right? Like, that'd be great.
that's cool. That's weird and cool. Cool.
So,
Excuse me.
but step
Um,
one, have to actually do the work, and then step two, we actually have to make our website because that doesn't exist yet. So,
yeah.
so
Well,
both of these things are missing, and that's on both of us. But this
yeah.
would be a lot of fun. Like, I mean, that'd be hilarious.
I'm that would be really cool actually. I'd probably ask it questions because I'm like, what did Earl say about doing so and so? And it's just like it's right there. I don't
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
go
but
Google
then it would
about it.
make a Dan joke on top of it, which would make it like this is that juxtaposition of education and entertainment. It's edutainment, right? That's
Mhm.
exactly what you want because there was this guy, and I'll give you another crazy one I just saw. So I don't know if you've seen those weird Minecraft videos on YouTube where they just have like someone just running a Minecraft course, and it's got the core. It has a voiceover, and it's got
Yeah.
like words on the screen. And so this guy was studying for an engineering exam. He's like, I can't do it. I'm so bored. I can't take this crap. And so what he did was he took the entire engineering book, threw it into the AI, and it pooped out a bunch of Minecraft videos. And he studied for engineering, and he passed his exam because it was more fun watching the Minecraft videos than it was reading the textbook. I'm like, this, what has the world come to? I'm slightly terrified.
Yeah. God, it's the
And
scariest thing is how many jobs are going to disappear and what the hell we're going to do with all those people. But that's we're not solving
well,
that.
to be frank, most of those Minecraft videos are terrible. So, if the fact that he's studying for an exam as opposed to,
No,
learning
I
terrible
mean
things.
more in the I mean more in the sense of you just talked about doctors and lawyers getting replaced. Now teachers, I think, are really on the block for a lot of this.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Hmm.
Because the nature of the teachers define the nature of the student's learning capacity, right? And AI isn't there yet, right? Because
It,
AI can't figure out if you're a visual, an auditory, a kinesthetic. And if you're kinesthetic, your AI is screwed, right? Until the robots come, because it can't kinesthetically teach you anything or show you spatially how that stuff works, right?
I've given up trying to predict what AI's limitations are. I would have it
Uh,
surpassed everything I thought it couldn't do at this point, except for become
no,
sentient.
well, it is sentient now, but well, that's another discussion.
Different. Oh, we're not getting into that
I'll
one.
talk to you about that one later. That's a
I
hard
remember
tangent.
that argument I had with Bryce about that one, so we'll have to take that up later.
Oh yeah, fair enough. No, but after the show, remind me, and I'll tell you stuff. But I got a hard stop at 11. So
Okay,
anyways,
all right, let's power through here. It's now there's something here to get dynamic content optimizers. Is that what we were talking
that's
about?
that's what
Like,
we talked about, where the damn
okay,
thing reads everything there is to know about you, and then writes a one line that gets your attention. That's dynamic content optimization.
it says landing pages here. Can AI create a custom landing page for
Yes, it
each
can.
person who visits?
Yes, sir.
What's that called? Because I might use that for my
Oh,
clients.
I forget what the tool. There's like 4 or 5 of them, but just look up AI dynamic content landing page thinger, and what it'll do is it'll actually dynamically create a landing page based on your user experience. So it knows where you came from. So let's say you clicked on an Instagram link, so it
Yeah.
knows the source where you came from, and it's going to treat you different if it came from Instagram versus LinkedIn because it's a very different
Mhm.
model. So it'll treat you different, it'll talk to you different, and it'll build a custom, literally custom to you landing page with building blocks of other stuff. So it's intelligent enough to pull from your materials. It'll just build it, but it's made for Dan. And then when Dan reads it, goes, holy crap, it's like they're talking to me. It's because it is.
Creepy.
So,
Okay, good. We're just spent all our time on the first question, so let's power through here.
all right.
Two, multimodal AI for marketing content. What? Forget just text-based or image-based AI tool. Big win is multimodal AI that seamlessly integrates text, video, audio, and images into cohesive, engaging campaigns. These tools can repurpose content across multiple formats in minutes, enhancing omni-channel response strategies. What?
Yes. So I'm doing that now. This isn't new. It's just becoming more ubiquitous.
Hmm.
So Joe Rogan, as an example, his
Never heard
podcast.
of him.
So, so his podcast, what they're doing is they feed the entire podcast, all 2 or 3 hours of the damn thing, into a transcriber. The transcriber looks at it and then rips it into what's most trending on the internet. So it pulls every word, looks at the trend analysis for all the words, figures out which one is the most trending. And then what it does is it chops the ideas or the phrases or the sentences based on what the most prevalent word is. So if like Trump showed up on the thing, and obviously Trump's all over the internet.
What?
So Mr. President. So what
Yeah.
happened is it pulls all the most interesting clips and bits out of it, chops them into 1 minute segments, and throws them onto all the different social media channels because we all have the attention span of a goldfish at this point. So because that's the case, it chops all these different videos. So the 3 hour segment turns into 300 different little small videos that it pops all over the internet. And that's why you see all these little 1 minute segments everywhere. Right. And then because that drops into TikTok, it drops into YouTube Shorts, it drops into now LinkedIn, it drops into blah, 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 Instagram, et cetera, it pops it everywhere. And so there's tools that can do that. It'll pull the quotes, it'll pull this stuff, and it'll just dump them out there. And because we have the attention span of a goldfish, you watch 2 or 3 of these 1 minute blips and you go, damn, I need to see the whole thing. And then you end up sucking down the whole 2 hour episode. Right. So it gets you hooked, it gets you to the thing, and it gets more consumption and more consumption and more consumption. So it's the attention economy now. And yeah, that's so multimodal AI for marketing content. Absolutely.
What define multimodal for me? Because it sounds like it's saying to use different, like you have your written
Multimodal.
copy of your
So
video.
we're making a video right now.
Mhm.
If I strip the audio, it's just a normal podcast, but it can go on SoundCloud, all the streams, all the different places that are just pure audio.
We
It
can
can
go
also
over top of Minecraft videos.
seriously, we could rip our transcript and put it over Minecraft videos.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's multimodal. Yeah. So multimodal is it dumps it onto everything.
Okay. So it says try tools that blend multiple AI models, e.g., ChatGPT for text, Runway for video editing, to create entire campaigns with a few inputs. So is there a tool that brings those things together, or do you have to
Yeah.
go to them?
Yeah. So I use this one called Captions. And what Captions does is if you take a 1 minute clip of anything, it can turn it into those very fast paced, very fast clippy, very video styles that, like, if you want to look like Hormozy as an example, it'll take your boring talking head video and make it Hormozy style. And it's actually cool and it's not terrible. Like I'm a very difficult grader, but on a scale of 1 to 10, for me to give you a pass is very hard, right? So this one, I would actually market it. Market it as 6.5 out of 10, right? So me to give it 6.5. Most AIs don't pass. Most AIs like editors I've seen are like 2, right?
Right.
Like that's terrible. Like my children could make better than that, and they're not professional video editors.
So
Right?
it's when you say it's taking your little clip and it's like adding B-roll to it, kind of thing.
It adds B-roll, it adds zoom in, zoom out, it flips back and forth between black and white, it adds transitions, it adds all the captions in any style you want. Above, below, right in front of your face. It'll chop it all up and it looks kind of amazing for an AI.
I've
Right.
had it in my head for a while to learn to do video editing.
You
And
don't have
now,
to
now
anymore.
I'm glad I didn't bother taking the time to learn that, because it would have been obsolete, because AI just does it all for you now.
Well, don't forget, I'm rating it a 6.5. Like, yes, humans still are the only way to get 9, 10, 11 plus, right? So if you want to get a good score with a really solid thing, you still need humans. But when you're starting out, you can't afford humans to do that, right? And so AI bridges the gap. Like I said, there's no such thing as beginner anymore. There's no such thing as beginner anymore. Everyone starts off as intermediate once you utilize AI properly and intelligently.
Brilliant. All right, let's keep learning how to do that for
All
2025.
right.
AI as a chief of staff. Well, this sounds fun. AI isn't just doing individual tasks anymore, it's managing workflows. This, I feel, is where I need AI most, is managing my workflows. Automating decision making and orchestrating entire departments. All chiefs. Is that the name of an AI thing? AI chiefs. I misread that.
Yeah.
That's my astigmatism making 2 eyes.
No
AI
worries.
chiefs are being used to allocate resources, prioritize projects, and manage communication hubs. Consider adopting AI workflow systems like Zapier AI, Notion AI that can coordinate with team members and clients, saving you hundreds of hours on admin tasks.
I should really read these things before I make the hack of the
Oh,
week.
whoops.
So, yeah. So my hack of the week is basically, I go into deeper detail. So yeah, it's not just doing one thing anymore. It's smooshing them together. So like I said earlier, Make lets you smoosh a bunch of AIs together. So as an example for Make, right? What you could do is you shoot client videos. So you take the client video, you shoot it, and you just stick it in the folder, right? And what
Mhm.
happens is there's a trigger on Make. And the first thing that's going to happen is it takes the video, poops it into the transcriber. Guys, here's a transcription. Cool. And then once the transcription is done, it'll look through the transcription, find really cool quotes that you said during the transcription, and say, "Hey, here's a bunch of cool quotes that you guys said. This is a bunch of smart stuff. Hey, let's make some social media posts around this." And then what it'll do is it'll read all your social media posts and then take all those social media posts, read the quote transcripts, and go, "Hey, this is your style. This is your thing. Da 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 da. Here's the quote. Let's make a post."
Hmm.
And this is what it means as AI as chief of staff, right? It's you can start using AI to do automation of a lot of these tasks that used to take grinding and hours, where now you just throw it in a folder and it just starts doing stuff.
Okay. But here's what I thought when I read this, and what, like I say, what I feel like I need, because I'm out here self-employed.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm going to self-criticize, I'll say sometimes I don't motivate myself or organize my time extremely well, and I go wandering off chasing butterflies when I should be getting something done. Um, AI for managing my workflows, as in like, hey, good
What
morning,
to do when? Yes,
what to
that
do when
exists.
you should stretch for 5 minutes and get your head right, and then call these 4 clients that are
Yep.
waiting to hear back from you. You know what I mean? Like,
I forget
that's
the
what I
name of
need.
it now, but it's been advertised for a bunch now.
Yeah.
You literally let AI take a look at your calendar, and what it does is it looks at what you do, and you just have to give it some feedback. Did I get it done or not? And then
Mhm.
based on that, it starts to know when your mood swings are. Like when are you energetic, when are you lethargic? When are you creative and when are you productive? When are you blah 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 blah? So it tells you when to do your phone calls. It tells you when to do your emails. Why? Because you're useless at everything else at that point. Cool. Hey,
Mhm.
now is your time for creative thought. How come you create most of the stuff that you produce and you do well at this point, and you just rate yourself out of 1 to 10, and it learns to see what your circadian rhythm is and gets to figure out: are you a night owl? Are you an early bird? When do you produce the best?
Mhm.
When do you produce the worst? And here's the thing: when you're producing at your worst, guess what? Emails, administrative tasks, all the normal day to day bullshit that you have to deal with, anyways. It has to get done. Well, why don't I give you the dumb stuff while you're dumb? And why don't I give you the smart stuff while you're smart? So yeah, this is already existing. It's been around for like a year and a half, 2 years already. So
Mhm.
you give it access to your calendar. You just give it feedback on, hey, I did this, I did that, and I didn't get this done. It'll reschedule it for you. Oh, look at that. So you don't have to just keep dragging the same time block over and over and depressing, right? Like now it just does it for you and reminds you and tells you you're an idiot, right? It's like, hey, you got the you've moved this thing 5 times. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, do you want to do this or not? And
Yeah.
so yeah, that exists.
If you can get me the name of that, it'd be good.
I'll find it. I'm sure the stupid ad will pop up now that I mentioned it. So,
Or
yeah. So there's
yeah,
an AI that actually does your calendar for you, and it learns
yeah.
who you are as a person, and then schedules stuff at the most optimal point in time for you to do it,
Mhm.
including the dumb stuff, including the downtime stuff. Which that's actually what I appreciated most. It goes, Earl, your blah 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 has been like this for this long, da da da. You really suck at doing creative shit at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Why? That's when I fall asleep. That's when I take a nap, right? And so if you make me do creative stuff at that point, I'm going to start typing and then I'm going to lay on the couch and right, that's gone, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
don't do creative stuff at that point. I'm sleeping. So
So yeah.
yeah,
Oh
so
God, I
that
forgot what I was going to say there.
this is good. I mean, it
Mhm.
already exists.
Mhm.
Some
Oh,
yes, my answer is
I
yes.
was going to say, I was going to ask the chat if people in the chat, if you know a good tool for that, post it up there. But this is saying AI chiefs, so it's also like that workflow of managing where I want someone to manage me and how my time is best allocated. It can also do that for your staff and say, hey, team, we're gonna have this meeting in the morning. We have to discuss this. Like it can organize all that stuff.
Yes.
There you
Absolutely.
go.
So it can actually check to see who's doing what, da da da, who's booked on this. Dealing with sick days is no longer a human task,
Hmm.
right? So, you know, let's say you run a coffee shop, right? And you got 10 staff. Steve is sick. Cool. Who normally works Steve's shift that could take over that while he's not here? Cool. Can we call them? Yep. Hey Betty, can you come and take over Steve's shift? Steve's sick today. Sure. No, sorry, I can't. Okay, calls Jennifer. Jennifer, hey,
Yeah.
you work the shift as well. You're off today, or we haven't been scheduling as many hours. Would you like some more hours? Robots do that now, and they do it way more efficiently than humans do. And they don't. There's no favoritism,
Yeah. Just data based.
no politics.
Right. And it doesn't get all sad. Oh, I can't come in. Oh, it won't harass you. That's, I guess you could
Oh,
program it to harass the person.
and it
Hey,
doesn't give you passive aggressive bullshit too. It's like, hey, you fucker, you didn't show up like these 3 times in a row. Now I have to reschedule your ass. Now I'm angry with you. No, the AI just does it. It's beautiful.
yeah. Unless you program it, AI, be a passive aggressive asshole to my employees, just like I
Right.
used to be.
We'll give you a list. Anyone named Bob? Hey, screw Bob. Watch this. So,
All right.
all
So what
right.
things are we avoiding in AI? This is probably a good balance out to all this worship of AI we've been doing. Over automation without quality control. Automating everything can feel like a victory until mistakes snowball into major issues. Auto scheduling errors, incorrect responses, and unvetted AI generated copy can damage your brand's trust. Avoid this by keeping a human in the loop. Keeping a human in the loop process. Oh my God. What a concept. Human in the loop process. That's hyphenated to make a single thing. Pair AI output with human oversight at key points for proofreading, context checks, and quality assurance.
Yep.
Yep.
Remember we talked about this on a previous episode where it was like, hey, remember they celebrated some like Nazi thing, and this is like, oh, that's good. And
Yeah,
yeah,
it was on the calendar in Germany as a
holiday,
day of remembrance, but it just read it. Oh, it's a holiday. Hey, everybody, happy Kristallnacht,
right?
which, without going into the history of it, is possibly the worst thing you could ever say to someone.
Yes,
Hmm.
exactly. So there you go. So over letting like letting the AI just run buck wild is a bad idea.
Mhm.
So yeah, definitely keep the human in the loop, please.
Human in the loop. That's going to be our job, I think, going forward. Is just we'll be AI tenders. We'll be
Yeah,
herding and farming AI.
someone's got to
Uh,
fix the robots.
yeah, exactly, right. For now,
Yeah.
number two, blindly chasing AI tools without integration. Whoops, hang on, I just screwed something up. There we go. The shiny new toy syndrome is real. We just talked about this yesterday or last week.
Mm.
Businesses keep adopting different AI tools that don't talk to each other. This results in data silos and clunky processes that hinder growth instead of enhancing it. Avoid this by choosing platforms with cross-platform integrations or adopting AI ecosystems that centralize communications and data tracking, e.g. HubSpot AI or high level with integrated APIs.
So agreed. You
Yeah.
okay? So there's an order of operations, right? So
Mhm.
remember, like bedmass or whatever for math, right? Do this, do this, do this, do this in this order, and the same thing could be said by choosing an AI tool, right? The problem with shiny object syndrome, shiny toy syndrome is you see a new shiny toy and you take it and you try to adapt it to your current processes. That's not the right way to do it because then you're just going to collect toys and they're not going to talk to each other and everything's going to catch on fire and explode. You go the other way around. You go, what are we trying to do? What is our goal? What is our architecture? And then is there an AI tool that then does that thing? So you go the opposite direction. You go, this is what we want. There's something that does it. Don't go, hey, look at that cool thing. Can I throw it as a monkey wrench in the system and see if it does better or worse for us? That's a terrible plan. Right.
Mhm.
So yeah, and the problem is that upper level management sometimes gets the shiny new toy syndrome. And then they go, hey guys, look at this thing. Isn't it great? Implement it somehow. And if you're not doing it from a architecture standpoint where you're actually trying to fix something, as opposed to look at the cool thing, you're just adding, like it's a data silos. Like you're adding more containers for stuff to look in when you don't need to, right? So imagine your business is 3 boxes big, right? And you add 7 boxes to it. And now you're trying to find stuff. And instead of looking in 3 boxes, you're looking in 17. Like it just gets worse and worse and worse, right? And then you forget which box you put crap in, or what the box does, or what it's supposed to do. And then that just goes out of whack real quick, right? It gets out of control fast.
So it becomes a very meaningful decision to pick what system what AI ecosystem you're using because you're
Well,
sort of going to be stuck
it's
with it to some degree.
like choosing people on your team, right?
Yeah.
If that guy is really good but doesn't pass, is he really good still? Not
Right.
so much, right? You can't have a team full of superstars. The team is the team, right? Everybody should pass the ball around, and people, whoever's good at that task should be the one doing it. One person can't hog it.
Fair enough. Oh, it's pretty straightforward.
Hmm.
Let's see what we have here. Red hot tip for 2025: leverage AI-powered niche communities for exponential growth. Well, I like this. In 2025, AI-driven community engagement will blow up. Platforms are integrating AI to nurture, analyze, and grow niche online communities. You can create ultra-targeted groups of customers, then use AI to handle personalized discussions, gamification, and engagement tracking.
Hmm.
So it gives a strategy here. But what do you want to say about this?
No, I mean, go for the strategy, and I'll tie it
Okay.
all together.
Red Hot strategy. Build a private community on Discord, Slack, or Circle with a custom AI assistant managing FAQs, follow-ups, and customer interactions. Pair it with a feedback loop to fine-tune your product messaging directly based on what the community needs. It's not just marketing, it's co-creation with your customers, turbocharged by AI.
So yeah, I agreed. So right now in some of the different spaces, so I'm like a chief marketing guy, fractional for a bunch of different places, and one of them is in the blockchain space. And in the blockchain space, everything is hype. Everything is you must have 10 pieces of news every day, otherwise your project is fake and a rug pull, and it's going to steal all our money, and we're going to lose
Mhm.
everything. And so the engagement of the artificial intelligence doing this sort of thing because the communities get like really fast, right? Like we're dealing with one with like 80,000 members in it now, right? There's no way to police that with humans because it just gets crazy, right? So the robots can go in there, find stuff that doesn't belong, and it can have a scale of like let's terminate that right away. So if someone's saying bad things, it'll turf them, and if they're saying enough bad things, it can auto block them for you. You don't have to have humans do that anymore, right?
Hmm.
And then what it'll do is if something's a little iffy, it'll throw that keep the human in the loop thing and go, hey, human guy, you tell me whether we turf these ones or not. And then eventually after time, it's machine learning. So it starts to learn, hey, I don't really like these things. I like these things. These things are okay. So it starts building exception lists, right? So when a behavior is incorrect, it can start to realize that, hey, this is what the human wants us to do. And then it'll start asking, hey, we saw this, it fits this model. This is what you usually do. Would you like us to do it for you? And over time, it'll learn how to auto ban somebody, right? When someone starts putting up bad stuff on your community, right? So that's definitely that. So building a private community, absolutely yes. Um, the rise of blockchain is because of the communities that stuff builds, and so Discord, Slack, et cetera, Circle's another one. I don't like Circles much. I mean, they're good, but it's not necessarily as structured as like a Discord or a Slack. There's just more tools, but Circle is up there. But yeah, custom AI management, asking, answering FAQs is fantastic, right?
So taking it back here, the community you're creating is people that would be interested in what you're offering.
Yeah. So as an example, I'm making a business community,
Yeah.
right? It's currently sitting on my WhatsApp. You're in it, right? And so as we post stuff in there, right? So,
Mhm.
as a joke, like so I posted the 100 event thing challenge that I'm doing. And then somebody in the community was joking and said, hey, if you shake 500 hands, you're definitely getting COVID. And I laughed, right? So I'm like,
Yeah.
that's hilarious. And so what would happen is that if this were depending on the type of people, right? So I'm called the evil marketing genius. If you don't make fun of me and swear, right, is it really on brand? And so, that guy making fun of me saying I'm going to get COVID for shaking 500 hands, that's totally on brand. I love that, right?
Mhm.
But let's say that we were in a more sensitive community where you shouldn't say that sort of thing or shouldn't use certain words or whatever, right?
Yeah.
It can auto flag, it can auto ban, it can auto do stuff based on that for community because usually you have a human moderator doing all this stuff.
Right.
So yes, so absolutely yes for Red Hot Strategy, 100%. I'm doing it now. It works. Keep doing it.
Brilliant. Okay, I guess we gotta get on with it here because you got a hard go at 11. Give
Betcha.
us a
So what are
wrap
we?
up. Doesn't usually give us a
So,
wrap up. Hang on.
oh,
2025 is the year to hyper personalize, centralize, and think multimodal. Oh, those all sound like great buzzwords. But
hmm.
remember, AI assists growth. It doesn't replace your genius. And if anyone forgets that, just remind them sorry, I keep reading it as all. AI may have infinite knowledge, but you have the story behind the strategy.
Yeah.
Don't know if I like that. Time to go dominate the world of business. Earl, let the episode roll. What does that mean?
And here we are. Well, because I asked it, hey, I need notes for the episode.
Yeah, but I don't say let the episode roll.
No, no, no. The AI is just trying to be cheeky and friendly, and sometimes it
Yeah, all
sounds
right.
weird and awkward, like a teenager, but whatever. So
Okay, so let's hit it. You got 8 minutes. Hack of the week.
hack of the week. So this is the idea. It's called the AI lazy genius kill switch. And
Okay.
what you're going to do is you're going to feed AI with your priorities. You want to get higher MRR growth, so monthly recurring revenue, or you want to increase regular sales, or list building, or lead gen, or I want to spend more time eating tacos. Whatever that is, you have to feed it what the priorities are, and you tell it these are my priorities. This is what I want to spend more time doing. And then you use a weighted scoring method. Revenue is more important than joy, as an example. Like we need to make money, otherwise we can't pay the staff. And if we can't pay the staff, joy is going to fall off a cliff, anyways. So if you give it 50% revenue, 30% time required, 20% joy, it starts weighting the averages of how long it takes to do these things versus how long, how much happiness you get versus how much money you make. And then you train the system to read your calendar, and you can do this. So it's funny because this was like the third thing and the thing you should probably do, but I'm going deeper, right? And so what it does is it starts to flag time-sucking distractions. So you use your calendar, you put everything you do in it, and then your AI scolds you because it'll tell you, hey, you just spent the last 3.5 hours watching YouTube. That's not productive. And so it'll tell you, hey, you're doing stuff that's wasting time. And it'll actually, so will this actually grow my business, or does it make me feel busy and broke? Right. Which is a big thing. A lot of people go, I'm working so hard. Are you really? Right. And so it'll get to the bottom of, are you still busy and broke? Or are you doing the right tasks to make it happen? And then what you do is you schedule one time where you don't argue with the AI. Schedule one time where you just, AI, tell me what to do. And it does, right? So, and it'll tell you what's the most productive thing that you could be doing right now to grow your business. And you just schedule one block a week where you don't argue with it and just do what it says. And lo and behold, it stops procrastination. It stops you, doing dumb stuff that you shouldn't be doing, et cetera, et cetera. And you should be spending this time on not emails, not calls. It's all just make money stuff, right? Because I'm guilty of this. I hit overwhelm. I have ADHD. And when that happens, I just start making calls. I start doing cold calls to distract myself to not do the work I'm supposed to do. Guilty of it. I'll make more sales, but then nothing gets delivered because oh yeah, someone has to do the thing, right? And if I'm supposed to be doing the thing and I'm procrastinating by making more sales, that's not helping anybody, right? So yeah, this can then look at my schedule and go, Earl, you did too many calls and not enough stuff. Oh, all right. Yeah. And it'll just recombobulate it for you. So yeah, there's you go. There's your hack of the week. I mean, if we want to use AI for intelligence, this is the I in AI, the intelligence part, right? So you can actually have it audit your calendar and go, you wasted 35% of your time doing dumb shit you shouldn't have been doing. And at least it keeps you accountable, right? And you can't lie to the AI. It's got your calendar. I mean, you could lie in your calendar, but then that's not going to do you any good, right?
It's going to scold me so bad when I finally start using it.
Yeah. So there you go. I mean, I'm guilty of this too. I'm the idiot who watches 3.5 hours of YouTube. So yeah, it happens to the best of us, right? Because I start going down the rabbit hole going, well, how does that work? Well, how does that work? Well, how does that work? Well, how does that tie into the first thing? We all do it, right? But having the AI go back and bad dog you, it helps because it's not like it's not like it's a person attacking you. You don't really feel necessarily attacked so much by the machine. It's just telling you, yo, you said you wanted this, but you're doing that. The hell, right? And it's objective, which you can kind of respect as long as you can stay beholden to yourself, right?
Yeah. I also don't, I feel like if I had an AI, I even call it assistant, an AI overseer, like I wouldn't feel bad about either taking up its time, asking too many questions, arguing with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whatever I need to do, or that I have to pay it for every minute I'm talking to it because it's a consultant.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you could also adjust it, right? Like, yo, AI, stop assigning me shit like 3 o'clock. That's my nap time.
Right.
Right. And it starts to learn, oh, that's Earl's nap time. Don't assign him anything heavy around there. Why? Because he's going to be sleepy. right?
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we're about done. We should say our goodbyes. Any final thoughts?
I like this one.
Yeah.
Was a good one. So it's not just some random, topic for my calendar. It's actually a more ubiquitous, kind of more generalized thing. But we still got the deep dive into specific examples, which was really neat.
Love it. Okay. Well, thank you everyone for joining us on this week's Earl and the Idiot. We really appreciate you tuning in. We let us know, first of all, in the chat, let us know what that tool is we were trying to think of. Also,
Yeah.
let us know what you think of the 10 o'clock time slot, or if even, I don't think that many people watch us live anyway. It's usually people just catch up later, so maybe it doesn't
Mhm.
matter that much. Tell us what you prefer. Say hi. Tell us a joke. Anything. We love it.
Yeah.
Engagement is good. Earl, thank you for all the pearls of wisdom. And
Thank you for
AI,
being
thanks for
an
doing
awesome
all the
co-host.
difficult parts.
No.
I do my best.
A splash of ridiculousness.
Yes,
So
I am. I'm bringing the ridiculousness. You'd never know it, considering I called myself an idiot in the title of the show.
awesome. Alrighty. Well, I'm
Yep.
gonna play us out.
Play
Thanks
us
for
out.
watching.
Thanks for listening to Earl and the Idiot. We hope you learned something you can take action on this week. For more information or to contact the show, visit earlandtheidiot.com. And until next time, remember what Shakespeare said. The fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool.
See you later, everybody.
You see ya.